Okay, let's look at the tabular division. I'm going to go over the homework, and hopefully we can use that as an opportunity to fill in the gaps for what you were not understanding. Okay. So let's see here. The first one on the homework was 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 divided by x minus 4. Okay. That was the first one on the homework. So we need to make a square. First thing we have to do is figure out how big to make the square. Okay. So I need to figure out the number of rows. Thank you. Could you open that? Yeah. Okay. The number of rows. Well, the number of rows is going to come from the number on the bottom. So you look at the exponent on the bottom. This has an exponent of 1. So we take that 1 and we add 1, and that tells me I need 2 rows. Okay. Then I have to figure out how many columns. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the number on top, the 2, and we're going to subtract the number on the bottom. And then we're going to add 1 to that one. So notice in both of these, we added 1. Right? In both of these, we added 1. For the rows, we just used the number on the bottom. For the columns, we used the number on the top minus the bottom. Okay. So this is going to end up being 2 also. Okay, let's draw our table. So we've got 2 rows and 2 columns.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay, so there's my table, 2 by 2. Okay. Now with division, anybody have a question on how I knew it was a 2 by 2 table?
No.
Okay. With division, we're going to draw in our diagonals. Right? The diagonals are very important when we're talking about the division. Okay. Now, we are dividing by x minus 4. We're going to put that over on the side. And then we're going to take the number that's on top. Oops, let me use the same color actually. And we're going to put that on the diagonals. So we have 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. That goes on the diagonals. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what would be up here in these boxes. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Ready with me? Okay. Once we have our box set up, the rest is actually pretty easy. So we're going to fill in our corners. So this corner, this is x minus 4. If I follow the diagonal, it only goes through one box. That's why we do the corners first. So that means this box must have been a negative 4 if that diagonal is negative 4. And that means this box up here in the top left corner, right, that diagonal only goes through one box. So that means this box must have been a 2x squared. That's the only way I'm going to get 2x squared on my diagonal. Now we'll just fill it in. What did I have to multiply the negative 4 by in order to get negative 4? 1. So that means this is a 1, and I'm just going to put it as a plus 1, right? Because 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. Now we can fill in another box. What's 1 times x? X. Okay. Well, let's do this one over here. What did I have to multiply? Now, this is the harder one. What did I have to multiply x times to get 2x squared, Shayna? What did I have to multiply the x times to get 2x squared? 2x. Yeah, 2x. Good. Well, let's just double check that. 2x times x gives me 2x squared. Okay, now how about down in this bottom corner? What's 2x times negative 4? Negative 8x. Okay, so right now I've got 2x plus 1 up top. We're just going to check all of our diagonals to make sure it works. Here we get the 2x squared, that's fine. Here I have x plus negative 8x. Well, that equals negative 7x, and that's what I wanted to have. And here we have negative 4, so it works. So that means this division equals 2x plus 1. And that's our answer. Okay, now I'm sure I have questions before we go on to the next one. Look at it again, digest it, copy it, because we're going to have a quiz tomorrow. Study it, think about it, copy it down, and ask questions. How do I know how many rows? How do we know how many columns? Where did we put the number on the bottom? Where did we put the number on the top? Questions? Yes.
For the columns, where do you get the plus 1 from?
So we're always going to do plus 1. So for rows and columns, it's always plus 1. So for the columns, we take the difference between these two numbers, which means we subtract them. Once we get that difference, we add 1. For the rows, we're only looking at that number, and then we add 1. Okay? Other questions? Yes. I think we're going to do we're going to hold that thought because we're going to do one of those after we go over the 4 homework problems. Okay? Okay, let's do another one. Number 2, we had 3x squared plus 11x plus 6 divided by 3x plus 2. By the way, this would be the same thing if I wrote it like this. That's the same thing. Divided by, okay? Okay, so let's see, number of rows. How many rows are we going to have? 2, right? It's the number on the bottom. So you look, this has an exponent of 1. So it's 1, and then we always add 1. So we have 2 rows. Right? Columns. Right? It's going to be 2 minus 1 plus 1, which is 2. So for all 4 of these problems that I gave you for homework, it's going to be a 2 by 2. We're going to do a couple today that are not, but for the ones I gave you for homework, they're all 2 by 2. Okay, so let's get our box. And I find it very helpful to make sure that I draw a nice square box if possible. Make all the boxes the same size. It makes it easier to follow the diagonal. Okay, and then my diagonals are going to go like that. What are those diagonals telling us, by the way? Why am I drawing the diagonals in there? Yeah, that's which boxes are being added together. It lines up my like terms, basically. Okay, so we're going to put 3x plus 2 along the side. And then we're going to put 3x squared plus 11x plus 6. Where did I get those numbers? It's the one on the top, right? It's the polynomial on the top. Okay, so we have our box. What do I do now? What do we do now, Tony? Okay, so let's fill in our corners. 3x squared and 6. Fill in our corners. Okay, let's do the bottom one. That one's easier. What did I multiply the 2 by to make it a 6? 3. So we're going to do plus 3 up here. Okay, so now that I have a 3 there, what else can I fill in? Top right, yes, and that's going to be 9x. Good. It's like a little puzzle, like Sudoku almost. Okay. Okay, let's look at the top left. What do I have to multiply the 3x by to make it a 3x squared? X. Okay. All right, Jakaya, what goes in the bottom left? 2x, yes, x times 2 is 2x. Let's make sure that all of my diagonals work. So I have 3x squared, that's good. It's the middle one that I really have to check. 9x plus 2x equals 11x, so that's good. So what is the answer to this division? X plus 3. Is it making a little more sense now? Okay, let's do another one. So we have 8x squared plus 10x minus 3 divided by 2x plus 3. Right, this is a 2 by 2. I already told you that. These are all 2 by 2s. Right. Draw those diagonals in there. Okay. Okay, so what goes along the side? 2x plus 3. And then where's the top thing go? On the diagonals. So we have 8x squared plus 10x minus 3. Okay. Ava, what goes in the bottom right corner? Down here. What is it? What goes in this bottom right corner? Well, let's look at the previous example because I'm not going to let you off that easy. Look at that example. Look at that example. What went in the bottom right-hand corner? Tell me what that number is. Okay, where do you see a -4 on their screen? Okay. Tell me what that number is. And where do you see a 6 on the screen? On the diagonal. Is there a -4 on the diagonal? Okay. So what goes in that bottom right-hand corner? There you go. There you go. Write it in your notes so that you know. Okay. Which 3? The blue one? It came from the diagonal. Whatever's right here on the diagonal, that's going to go in that corner. Every time. Ronnie, what goes in the top left corner?
8x squared.
And where did that come from?
Right there.
It's on the diagonal. Okay? The corners, the top left and the bottom right corner come from the diagonal. They come directly from the diagonal. Listen, guys, you are in Algebra 2. That means you're in 10th or 11th or 12th grade. This is not the hard part. If you're not getting this, you're simply not listening. So don't sit there spaced out saying, I don't get it. There's nothing to get. This number comes directly from this number. This is not rocket science. You are just not listening if you're not getting it. Write it in your notes. Don't sit there and stare at me with that glazed look on your face because you're not hearing me. I want to see everybody putting that in their notes. This corner is coming directly from this number. This is not something that's hard. There's not something to get. It's not I don't get it, I don't understand. There's nothing to understand. Just copy the number in the spot. That's all. Just copy it in the spot. If you're not doing it, you are just not listening. So wake up and listen. Just copy it over. Has everybody got that? Where are we getting it from? What are we doing? We are copying it over. Got it? Now comes the part we have to actually think about. Up to now, you've not been using your brain. Some of you are still staring at me with the glazed eyes. I don't get it.
Hi.
Wake up! Wake up! Stand up. Everybody up. Everybody up. Stand up. Let's go. Stand up. Let's go. Jogging in place. Jogging. Everybody jogging. Come on. Your 58-year-old teacher's jogging. Let's go. Jogging. You guys are the laziest group of teenagers I've ever seen. Let's go. Okay, ready? Spin around. Everybody, spin around. Go the other way. Go the other way. 3 steps back. 3 steps forward. 2 steps sideways. 2 steps the other way. Jump in place. Stand on your left foot. Stand on your right foot. Stand on your left foot. Stand on your right foot. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay, sit down. All right. Let's get back to work. What do I have to multiply? What do I have to multiply that positive 3 by to make it a negative 3? Negative 1. So where does the negative 1 go? Top right. Here you go. Right up there at the top of the column. How do I know that's a negative 1, Mason? So, okay, so you don't know. Why are you not writing anything down? You don't know that either. Write it down. You are never going to know it if you are not writing it down. Jakaya, how do I know that's a negative 1? Excellent. Good job. Excellent, right? Because positive 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Let me see here. Brooke, how can I figure out, or what, tell me what goes in this box here in the top right. How do we know that? Yeah. Yeah. Once I figure out what's in this position here, now I can figure out what's in that square. Okay. Okay, how about the 8x squared? What did I have to multiply the 2x by to make it an 8x squared? What is it, Allie? 4x. How do we know that? Good, because 4x, right? 4x times 2x equals 8x squared. Okay, now I can figure out this last little corner. So 4x times 3 gives me 12x. Let's make sure everything works out. I'm going to just erase these right now. Right? We're going to follow our diagonals. Okay? So on this diagonal, all I have is an 8x squared. So 8x squared right there. On this diagonal, I have negative 2x plus 12x, which equals 10x. And then on the last diagonal, all I have is a negative 3. Is that what I'm supposed to have? 8x squared plus 10x minus 3. And sure enough, that works. So that means this quotient is 4x minus 1. When you are taking notes, you need to take notes in a way that's going to make sure you understand where everything came from, right? So in May, when you're looking at your notes on how to do tabular division, is this going to help you? You need to write notes, right? You need to put little notes in there like negative 3 because negative 1 times 3 equals negative 3. Okay, put notes in there, right? Right here, negative 1 times 2x equals negative 2x. Your notes need to be something that's going to help you study and help you remember later. Don't be too lazy to take notes. And then at the end of the year, you're going to be like, I don't understand how to do this. I don't remember. Because you were too lazy to take notes today. You're here. What else is there to do? Right? You can't have your phone out. You can't have your iPad out. You're not supposed to be talking. You're not passing notes. What else is there to do? You might as well take notes, right? There's nothing else to do. It's kind of boring just sitting there looking at me. Yes, ma'am.
How do we get 12x?
So we took this 4x, right? Put this in your notes. We took the 4x times the 3. This 3 right here. And that gave us 12x. It's like, have you ever played Sudoku? No. Remember your multiplication facts from when you were a kid? Right? You had multiplication tables. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? It's the same thing as a multiplication table, right? 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. It's the same thing, the row times the column. Okay? So that's all we're doing. We're just doing the row times the column. You ever play Battleship?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Everybody has to play Battleship. That's like one of those things every child should do. Play Battleship. Okay, so let's say that we have 3x squared. This is number 4. 3x squared plus 16x plus 5 divided by x plus 5. Okay. So again, we're looking at a 2 by 2.
The answer for 3 is 4x minus 1.
Yes. Yes.
We weren't supposed to do 5 and 6.
Nope.
What?
Okay, so my 2 by 2. So let's see, where are we putting the x plus 5? Anya, where are we putting the x plus 5?
On the side.
Yeah, put it on the side. Good. X plus 5. Okay. Okay, Shayna, where am I putting the 3x squared plus 16x plus 5?
On the other side.
On the diagonals, right? That's what you meant when you said the left side, right? 3x squared plus 16x plus 5. Okay. Ronnie, what's my first step here? Fill in the
Put that
bottom.
plus 5
Yeah. Fill in this little square right here.
side.
Okay.
Actually, right now.
Fill in that square right there. Okay, Damien. Now that I have that square filled in,
3x2.
where am I putting that?
Top left.
Top left. He's like, let's go. Let's go. 3x squared. 3x squared. Good job. Okay. Hunter, what information do I now have?
You can put a 1 on the top right because 1 times positive 5 is positive 5.
I love the way you said that. We can put a 1 up there because 1 times 5 is 5. Okay, Yana, what does that tell me now? Now that I have a 1 there, what else can I fill in? Yeah, perfect. This is a 1x because 1 times x is x. All right, Caden, what else can I do?
Put a 3x at the top left.
How do I know there's a 3x there?
It's 3x squared divided by x is 3x.
Can you rephrase that? Because that's going to confuse people, the division set.
Times x.
There you go. Because 3x times x is 3x squared. Okay. So now, let's see here. Tori, what goes in the bottom?
15x.
How do we know that?
Because 3x times 5 is 15x.
Beautiful. You guys got it. There we go. We're just going to double check our diagonals. So we have 3x squared. That's good. 1x plus 15x. There's 16x. And then we have 5. So we've got it all good. So the answer is 3x plus 1. Okay, I'm going to give you one to try on your own. I just have to make it up, so give me a second here. Let's see here. Yes, I figured that.
I mean, I really wanted the way you taught us, like, on the video. No,
This is how I taught you on video.
no, like, when you set it up.
I'm pretty sure this is how I set it up.
No, like, you see how, like, where the x and plus 5 is? I put it on the top instead of on the side.
Oh, that's okay. Sure, and then your answer is the one that's on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter which way it goes. Yep. Okay, so let's do 4x squared plus 10x minus 6 divided by x plus 3. All right, let's make our table. Same size table, right? You have to admit these are kind of fun once you get used to them. Draw the diagonals. Okay, so we've got x plus 3, and I've got 4x squared plus 10x minus 6. Okay, so filling in, let's see, this has to be a negative 6. So what do I multiply the 3 by to make it a negative 6? Negative 2. Okay, so now we can do negative 2 times x, and that gives me negative 2x, right? And then we can fill in this other square. This has got to be a 4x squared. So what does that mean? Yeah, this has to be a 4x. So x times 4x equals 4x squared. So now down in the bottom, 4x times 3 is 12x. And everything works. 4x squared, negative 2x plus 12x is 10x, negative 6. So this equals 4x minus 2, and we're done. Good? Okay, we're going to take it a little bit further now. Any questions on that one? Okay. So let's do numbers 5 and 6 from that worksheet that I gave you. So we have 2x to the third plus 13x squared plus 21x plus 9 divided by x squared plus 5x plus 3. Okay. So first off, we got to figure out the number of rows and columns. So the rows, that's the exponent on the bottom. So that's a 2. And what do we always do? Add 1. So I've got 3 rows. The columns, we take the difference between the top and the bottom. So that's 3 minus 2 plus 1, which also equals 3. So this time we have a 3 by 3 square.
No, 3 by 2.
3 by 2, thank you very much. If I can add, that would be good. 3 by 2 square. Get it again. 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. On the side, I've got x squared plus 5x plus 3. And then on my diagonal, I've got 2x to the third plus 13x squared plus 21x plus 9.
Special.
I'm looking for what goes up there. Okay. Fill in that bottom corner and the top corner. So we have plus 9 and we have plus 2x to the third. Okay, Johanna, what do I do?
You have to do. I'm not sure.
Okay, how do I get this plus 9?
Right there.
It's
Well-
right underneath it.
What do I multiply this 3 by to make it a 9?
3.
3. So where does that 3 go?
Top.
Up top. There we go. Plus 3 right there. Now we can fill in a whole bunch of this, the rest of this column basically. So we've got 3 times x squared, which gives me 3x squared. 3 times 5x, which gives me 15x. Right, so we filled in the rest of that column. Okay. How do I get the 2x to the third? What do I have to multiply this x squared by to make it a 2x to the third? 2x. Right? 2x times x squared equals 2x to the third. So fill in the rest of it. 2x times 5x is 10x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. We're just going to check our diagonals to make sure that everything is correct. Okay, so we have this diagonal here, 2x to the third, that's good. Here we have 3x squared plus 10x squared gives us 13x squared. And then we have 15x plus 6x gives us 21x. And we have 9, so everything works. So our answer is 2x plus 3. Okay, yes.
Can you show me how many columns and how I know how many columns?
Okay, subtract your exponents, right? 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2. And then add 1. Okay. Okay, we're going to do another one. X to the fourth plus 7x to the third plus 10x squared plus 3x plus 6 divided by x plus 2. Okay, we got to figure out our rows and columns again. Okay. Our rows, we look at the bottom. What's the exponent on the bottom? 1. So it's going to be 1 plus 1, which is 2. Okay, our columns. We're going to do the difference between the top and the bottom. So we have 4 minus 1 plus 1. So we get 4. Okay, 2 rows, 4 columns. Okay, 2 rows, 4 columns. And draw our diagonals. When you draw the diagonals, make sure you go through the corners of each square so you don't lose track of what's what. Okay. So I've got x plus 2 And then along the diagonal, x to the fourth, 7x to the third, 10x squared, 3x, and 6. Okay, we do our corners. So we're going to put our 6 right here, and we'll put our x to the fourth over here. Do the corners first. Okay, Ava, what goes at the top of this column? Say again? This column right here. Can you see my cursor? So what goes up here? Kaya, do you know? What goes up here? 3. How do we know it's a 3? 2 times 3 is 6. Good. Yeah, so that's got to be a 3. Okay. So Anya, what do I know now?
But the one above it is 3x.
Perfect. This is a 3x because
3 times.
3 times x is x. Very good. Okay. Okay. Let's work on this x to the fourth. Yana, what's going to go in this column right here?
Is it x to the 4th times 2?
Not quite. Not quite. Ronnie, can you help us?
I don't know why. It is.
Jakaya? How do you know that?
X to the third. Yeah. It was.
Because x to the third times x equals 2.
Yeah, because x to the third times x equals x to the fourth. Right? We have to figure out what we multiply this x by to make it an x to the fourth. Okay? Okay, now we can fill more in. Now we've got x to the third times 2, and that gives me 2x to the third. Okay, now comes the puzzle making. Because this is a bigger square, we've got a little more thinking to do. I need to figure out what goes in these 2 spots here. Okay, so let's look at our diagonal. Here we need it to add up to. We need this diagonal to add up to what? 7x to the third. I have 2x to the third. How many more do I need? 5x to the third. I need 5x to the third more. So now I'm going to say, what do I multiply the x by to make it a 5x to the third? 5x squared. Okay, because 5x squared times x equals 5x to the third. Well, you're on a different row then. We didn't get there yet. Where'd you get this 7? How'd you get 7x squared? Did you get 5x cubed in this box? Okay. So how did we get the 5x cubed? Who can explain that to me? Brooke, can you explain that?
Because 5x cubed times 2x cubed is 7. Plus.
5x cubed plus 2x cubed equals 7x cubed, right? So I already had the 2x cubed. I already had 2. I needed 7. I was like, well, how many do I have to add? I have to add 5. So once I get that box, then it's figuring out the multiplication. Okay? Okay, let's look at the next one now. So we can fill in this box down here. 5x squared times 2 equals 10x squared. Okay. Yeah, look at the diagonal. How many x squares do I need? I have 10x squared, so I don't need any more. So this is going to be 0 up here. Right? So that means this has to be 0. 0 times x is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. So, because I already had 10x squared and I didn't need any more 10x squared. I already had 10x squared. So that means there's nothing here because I'm looking at my diagonals. Okay? So this is going to equal x to the third plus 5x squared plus 3. That's what it's going to equal. Okay. Okay, your quiz tomorrow will be mostly like the first 4 that we did. I'll probably have 1 or 2 like this one. I'll definitely have 1. I might have 2. Okay, like that one. Okay. That's what your quiz tomorrow is on. Everybody understand what their quiz is on tomorrow? Okay. All right, we're going to start something new. So you want a new page. This is not on your quiz tomorrow. Okay, the quiz tomorrow is only tabular division. We're going to start something that's called synthetic division. Again, this is not hard. You just have to pay attention because it's just a matter of bringing the numbers where they belong. Okay? So I'm going to use the same example. We have 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 divided by x minus 4. Okay? Synthetic division only works when we are dividing by a binomial. What's a binomial? 2. So this is a binomial, this x minus 4. Synthetic division will only work when you're dividing by a binomial. The other thing that we have to make sure of is that this x here has a 1 in front of it. Like if that was 2x minus 4, we couldn't do it. It has to just be 1x. That's the only time we can use synthetic division, okay? So what we're going to do, please make sure you're taking notes, right? Whatever this is, right? This is x minus 4. We're going to take the opposite of that number. What's the opposite of minus 4? Positive 4. So we're going to put a 4 there. And we're going to put like a little half box around it like that. What's going on? Why are you all looking at the door? What's going on? Okay, we took the opposite of this. It was a minus 4, so we use a positive 4, okay? Okay, now we're going to take the numbers in front here. So it's 2x squared, so we're going to write 2. Minus 7x, so we write minus 7. Minus 4. We just write the numbers, the coefficients. Okay, and we're going to draw a line. Leave a space for your line. Okay. So again, we took the opposite of this number, and that goes in our little corner. Then we took the numbers, and we wrote those out. Okay, so here comes the synthetic division part. First thing we do, we're going to bring that 2 down. And then we're going to multiply. 4 times 2. What does 4 times 2 equal? 8. We're going to write that right here. And we're going to add. What's negative 7 plus 8? 1. And we're going to multiply. 4 times 1 equals 4. What's negative 4 plus 4? 0. Okay, so we finished our synthetic division. Now we have to interpret what that means, okay? So what we did is we wrote the numbers. This was where we got the 2 from the x squared. We got the negative 7 from the x, right? So whatever this exponent is, this one's going to be 1 less than that. So this is going to be 2x plus 1. So we drop in exponents. So our answer is 2x plus 1. Okay, let's do another one. Let's see, we have 3x squared plus 11x plus 6 divided by wait a minute. I've got to make sure I give you the right information here. That work? Okay. Divided by x plus 3. Okay. Okay. So what goes in the little box? What goes in the corner? Minus 3, right. Minus 3 goes in the corner. What numbers go along the top? Good. Okay, and sometimes it helps just to kind of write, this came from the x squared, this came from the x. Okay. Okay. So what do? Bring down the 3. And then negative 3 times 3 gives us negative 9. And then what do we do with that? 11 plus negative 9 is positive 2. Yeah, and we get negative 6. So what's our answer? This was x squared, which means now it's just plain old x, right? This was x, which means it doesn't have any x now. So it's 3x plus 2. Okay. Let's do another one. See, this is easy, right? Let's do the last one that we did. X to the 4th plus 7x to the 3rd plus 10x squared plus 3x plus 6 divided by x plus 2. Okay, so what goes in the corner? -2, good.
So since it's x to the fourth, how would you not put the x down?
Yeah, I'll show you. -2. Okay, so what's the number in front of the x to the fourth? 1. So we're going to do 1, right? That's x to the fourth. X to the third is 7. X squared, that's going to be the 10. And then x is the 3. And then we have a constant, which is 6. It's called a constant when there's no variable on it. Does everybody understand where we got those numbers?
Yes.
Okay, so what do we do?
Another one.
Yep. And we get
Divide it by
-2. Okay. Everybody understand where we got those numbers? Okay, so we started off with x to the fourth. So what's this one going to be? 1x to the third plus 5x squared. Now this one is x, but it's a 0, so we don't write that. So it's going to be plus 3. Okay, this was x to the third, x squared, x, and then that's our constant. Okay. Okay. I'm going to hand out your homework worksheet, and I'm going to do a couple of them with you.
So we have 2 quizzes tomorrow.
You have one quiz tomorrow. There won't be a homework quiz. Okay. So we have x squared plus x minus 19 divided by x minus 3. Okay. What goes in the corner? +3. Okay. So let's just write x squared, x like that. Okay. So what's the number that goes under the x squared? 1. That comes right from here. It's a 1. How about for the x? Okay, and then we have -19. Okay, does everybody understand that? Okay, bring down our 1. Don't go running through this worksheet because I need to explain something to you, okay? This one's a little bit different. We have 3 times 1, which gives us 3. Everybody with me? 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. -19 plus 12 is -7. Now, let me ask you, on all the problems that we just did, notice that's a -7, right? We got 0 as that last number, 0 as the last number, 0 as the last number, right? So this one's different. Okay, the reason is it does not divide evenly. There's a remainder. When it's 0, there's no remainder. That means it divides evenly. When it's not 0, there's a remainder. So this is how we write this. So we started off with x squared. That means this is going to be what? 1x plus 4. For now, for this worksheet, you're going to say it's plus a remainder of -7. Now, that's not technically the correct way to write it, but for now, we're going to. I'll explain more to you later, okay?
So all things.
Yes. Okay. Okay, you can work on the rest of the worksheet now. Your quiz is on the tabular division.